Boom shakalaka, how much will 25,000 Vechain coins be worth at the end of 2025? And more importantly, how many VET do you need to be a millionaire? Stay tuned. What's up everyone, Randall here from Crypto Love. You know, had you have bought a mere $37,000 of a Vechain if you had the money before last alt season and then sold at the top of alt season, you would have been a millionaire. That's right, you would have 27x'd your investment. Does a better opportunity exist today? We're going to get into all of that, specifically how much 25,000 Vechain coins will be worth in 2025 and how many you need to be a millionaire. Before we do, like the video, join us on Twitter through Crypto Love, and of course, subscribe to the OG Bitcoin and Crypto YouTube channel, making daily videos since 2017. Now, why are we making this video today? Well, it does appear like the market is reaching a tipping point. And that tipping point would be the tipping point between Bitcoin being very dominant and altcoins being very dominant. Now, we've seen altcoins pop off time and again. As a matter of fact, Vechain Thor just took off the other day because they were listed on KuCoin. But we are at the cusp where things could happen, where pretty much all altcoins are going to take off. Now, why is this? Well, every time Bitcoin price here in the middle touches this green line, the EMA Bollinger Bands line, generally what happens is the Bitcoin dominance drops off. That's the Bitcoin percentage versus altcoins, and altcoins on top here take off into alt season. Now, historically, we've also seen this paired with a crossing of the WMA and SMA on total 3, all things which indicate alt season is coming. Additionally, we have a very similar setup in terms of this structure right here and the RSI looking very similar, not even getting into this all overbought territory yet for altcoins. All of these suggesting alt season is coming up. But some of the biggest things that could be suggesting it would be right here, the super trend flipping bullish on the 2-month candles. This predicted every single alt season previously. It just flipped bullish for the new year in January, and there's a possibility we might have a pretty spectacular alt season ahead of us, because I don't know if you see this fractal right here, but this much smaller setup is just magnified. What took one cycle here where the price gets hammered down, consolidation, breakout, retest, and then alt season. Well, same thing, price gets hammered down, consolidation, breakout, retest, and then you could assume, now when you assume, you make an ass out of you and me, but you could assume that we might have a much larger alt season because this alt season was so big. Which brings us to the coin of today, Vechain, Web3 for better. They're doing a bunch of stuff with Walmart, with BMW, Vechain Thor, very popular right now. And, well, could it take off? Could it do very well? If we take a look historically, last cycle, look what happened. So some people might say, and I kind of get the feeling, we're at like the October, November point of 2020 before alt season began. Now, if we take a look here, November of 2020, price was 1 cent. And then within 5 months, it took off to 27 cents, something like that for the all-time high. Now, certainly possible again, but even look at how far down from previous all-time highs price is. Right now, price is at 4 cents, market cap $3.86 billion, daily volume $151 million. So, all that being said, let's take a look at the chart. This is pretty interesting. You can see that the chart has broken out from this downtrend right here back in November. It broke through there. But what's very interesting is we have, number one, either a double bottom or a cup and handle, depending upon how you look at it. I think because the bottoms are so close, it's more of a double bottom type structure. So what that means is that when price passes this confirmation point, there is a 97% chance for 40% gains. And in 2/3 of the cases, price actually comes back before it takes off. So we could be looking at the perfect double bottom setup structure right there for Vechain. Price right now is sitting at that confirmation point level, but also it's sitting above this trend line. And if you take a look at this on the side, there is an inverse head and shoulders. And so price should effectively go up roughly the size of that head, which would put it, a little bit higher than that, maybe 17, 20 cents, something like that. So interesting chart setup for Vechain. Now let's take a look at the numbers, because that's what everybody comes here for, right? So if we take a look today, let's say you watch this video, you have $1,000 burning a hole in your pocket, grandma just gave you your birthday present, and you want to know which meme coin to put it on, but then you stumble across this video somehow and you're like, not a meme coin, Vechain, this could be the one. I mean, did you see that chart? That looks incredible. I should just go all in right now. As a matter of fact, let me find out if there's like 100x leverage, because that's how we roll. And once you get some, sense back into your brain and stop going 100x long into everything, you decide to put that $1,000 into Vechain today. Well, if you did that, you would buy approximately 25,000 VET. Now, we take a look at previous Vechain all-time high. Now, if we take a look at the market cap back there, at that peak back there, guess what? Previous all-time high, $15 billion. Right now, market cap, $3.8 billion. If Vechain were to just do what it did last cycle, and that would pretty much be what any non-dying cryptocurrency should do, well, you would 4x that $1,000, making you $3,947 with a 16-cent Vechain. Coincidentally, that 16-cent Vechain is right around where this Head and Shoulders predicts the price to wind up. So, first scenario, I would say there's a high likelihood that could happen. If it didn't happen, then you might want to look at some other cryptocurrencies instead of Vechain, because if it can't even do what it did last cycle, it's probably one of the dying coins. Now, on to scenario 2. There are other coins that people compare Vechain to. One of the ones that was successful last cycle was Cardano. And last cycle, Cardano had a market cap of $93 billion. Well, it would only make sense that other altcoins would do as well as Cardano did last cycle, because there's a lot more money flowing into cryptocurrencies. Now, should that money flow into Vechain and Vechain have the same market cap as Cardano, guess what? You would 24x your $1,000, making you $24,473 with a 97-cent VET. Interesting, just under $1. And that would probably be a big even price ceiling, because a lot of people would be looking to sell at $1. So this scenario also pretty darn likely, just because of the price. Now, things are starting to get a little bit less reasonable as we get here, but not outside the realm of possibility. You see, and this is exactly why. This is why. This chart right here, expanding cycles theory. We could have the alt season to remember, the biggest alt season ever. How cool would that be before the whole entire market crashes and everything goes to zero? I think it's possible. Now, if that happened, well, last cycle, Ethereum had a market cap of $559 billion. It's not unreasonable that many other cryptocurrencies would have the same market cap as Ethereum, especially ones in kind of the same space doing the same type of thing. Well, Vechain would definitely fit that bill. And if that happened, you would 147x your $1,000, making you $147,105 with a $5.88 VET coin. Which brings us to the last two scenarios. Definitely a little bit less reasonable, but hey, we're just playing around having a good time here. So, scenario number 4. As of yet, there are no trillion-dollar market cap altcoins. Bitcoin has a $1 trillion market cap, 2 trillion right now, but no altcoins do. Now, could be kind of the thing like the 4-minute mile where they thought it was humanly impossible to do, and then one dude did it, and then the same year 20 other people did it. Could be the same thing with altcoins, where all the altcoins are like, oh, $1 trillion, that's like way too high, it's not possible. And then tons of money comes flooding into cryptocurrency, which could likely happen. And all of a sudden, a whole bunch of altcoins have $1 trillion market cap. Well, and as a matter of fact, it seems very likely, because I'm looking back at my videos from like 5-6 years ago, and there was like pie in the sky $100,000 Bitcoin scenarios. As a matter of fact, I did a couple of videos on freeing Ross Ulbricht, and back then the video title was Bitcoin to $100,000, and it was like pie in the sky. Well, guess what? Bitcoin's already $100,000. So definitely possible. Now, if we take a look at this, if that happened and Vechain went to $1 trillion market cap, guess what? You would 263x your $1,000, making you $263,000 over $250,000 with an $11 Vechain token. Which brings us to our last scenario. Last scenario definitely is a pie in the sky. This is like a 1 in a billion chance, maybe 1 in a trillion chance, maybe 1 in 3.2, who knows. But it's the likelihood of it happening this cycle is pretty low, but it's a long shot, and hey, that's why we make these videos. So, people speculate that this cycle, total market cap will be $10 trillion. Could be higher, could be lower, could be spot on. Nobody knows until it's over. So that's what we don't know. What we do know is that the highest altcoin dominance ever for like a day was Ethereum at 32% altcoin dominance. Most of the time, much lower than that. But if we take 32% of that $10 trillion, that brings us to $3.2 trillion, which would be statistically probably the highest possible altcoin market cap this cycle based on estimates and history. So if that coin was Vechain, like let's say a whole bunch of stuff happened for Vechain, all of a sudden it's the coin of the hour, everybody wants it, and it's hard to get. Well, if that happened, guess what? $3.2 trillion market cap, you would 842x your $1,000, making you $842,105 with a $34 Vechain. Holy freaking cow, right? Pretty life-changing. Now, if that did happen, guess what? A mere $1,187 of Vechain today would make you a millionaire, which is roughly like 26,000 some Vechain. So if you did enjoy that video, we have a whole playlist of similar videos, other crypto price predictions. As a matter of fact, the XRP 5X price pump, we nailed the price it hit perfectly 4 months before it even happened. So that's all in that playlist right up there. I'll catch you later. Have a good one. Love you. Peace.
If you don't think Bitcoin's going to $1 million a coin and then $10 million a coin, you're already a loser.
From now on, if you don't own Bitcoin, you're a moron.